Awesome. Oh, this is live, Gary. What's up, Gary? Is he not on?
Are you muted? What's up with you? We
Yeah,
can't
he's
hear you.
muted. Can't hear you, man. Whole nother world right now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What's up, Gary?
Oh, what's up?
What's up,
What's
man?
everything?
So this
What's
is
going on?
live. Is that for any particular reason, or can I eat my dinner while we're doing this?
No, you could eat your dinner, dude.
I
We're
plan
just
on
gonna,
it. So.
we're just gonna, we're just gonna talk about Daniela missed a call with me one-on-one, so
Oh shoot.
I think she has a good excuse, but we're about to find out.
All
And
right.
then we got Saren in the building. What's up, Saren?
Hey guys.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hi.
Brand new and already kicking ass. I'm like, check my email. I'm like, oh shit, she already got a survey. She's already got like, this girl's on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
It's a good.
so let's take off my. I'm gonna get serious here and take off my glasses.
Oh.
So Danielle, I don't know if you know Nathan, but Nathan is actually we connected a while back, and he's actually a sales trainer himself in the real estate niche.
Hmm.
Yeah, we talked.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool. Cool.
once before.
Cool.
Yeah.
So so let's start with you, Danielle. Like, why'd you miss our call? Why'd you miss our one-on-one call? What's the excuse?
What? Because I was on a call myself, because I'm trying to talk to a lot of people, and I made a sale, which is all very nice.
Woo!
Yeah, made another sale for my online
Yeah.
half price at $750, which is feeling pretty good at the moment because it feels like a bargain, which I think it is. And that's the everything.
That's the everything. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the everything. That's it. Just a sale. Just another day at the office for Daniela.
I guess.
Before
No.
she used to celebrate her sales. Now it's just like, that's just another day.
No. No, it's cool. It's really cool. I'm psyched. Yeah, so that's why I was late. And yeah.
Okay, very good. All right, cool. So we could talk about some details. So it's kind of interesting because Danielle, you're at a point now where I think Saren was, I don't know. I mean, you're where Saren was maybe you were where Saren is maybe a couple months ago. I feel like.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Cool. So Saren, what kind of like here's what we'll do. We'll go through some of the challenges,
Yeah.
things that you're struggling with, problems, questions, that type of thing, and then me and Nate. Well, Nathan could definitely chime in terms of sales all day, all day. So
I'm eating sales right now. I don't know if you knew this, but I'm not eating food. I'm actually eating sale Rios. I'm having sale Rios.
he eats sales for breakfast.
That's right.
So, Saren, what questions do you have out of like what have you gone through so far? I know you just signed up yesterday, so
So,
very new, but you're already in action.
so yeah, okay. Yeah, I did like most of module 1. And Nathan, because I know Daniela, just to get name my business is called The Glow Effect. And I want to, like, at a broad niche, is spiritual women and performance life changing for spiritual previous to me. So I do a lot towards these.
I'm not sure if it was just my end
Or at least
It's choppy for me too.
Yeah, it's choppy. Saren,
it's really choppy.
I think sums up with your Wi-Fi,
yeah,
or maybe you got a lot of apps open on your computer.
it might. That could be it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So try to close down some apps and Dropbox if you have Dropbox open or any type of downloading apps because they might take your bandwidth.
Okay. Dropbox is not open.
Okay.
I'll close down Word, but I'm...
So I'll give you a few minutes to just work on that, and then we'll chat with Danielle.
Okay, I think, is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds better.
That's better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just to reiterate, my business is called The Glow Effect, and I work with spiritual and ambitious women
Okay.
who seem to attract a lot of attorneys because I was an attorney. I'm struggling to find, and this is I did the survey, or I put together the survey. I found a lot of examples, books, the magazine stuff. I hesitate. I don't know. I'm stuck on this happiness term. Like, that seems to be a very wide used term.
Okay. What do you mean by
and
happy?
it doesn't seem.
What do you mean by happiness?
Right.
Term?
I don't.
What does that mean?
Right. No, I agree. Like, I don't. But that I do life coaching and performance coaching in the sense that getting behind the stories, connecting with your intuition. I have a whole program of getting your glow on, allowing life to flow a little bit easier, for things to be brighter, for you to be brighter, for you to be more effective in whatever you want to do. To me, that's so much deeper and more complex than happiness.
Saren, so I'm gonna pause you for a second, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so notice what you're talking about here, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look carefully at the language you're using, you're saying a lot of I want to do this, I want to do this, right? And what you want to do here in the beginning is you want to get into them. What do they want, right? So happiness is, it's a vague abstraction, right? So what you want you want specifics, right? Because what is happiness? I could ask.
No,
hey,
I agree with you.
Yeah, what is happiness to me? Nathan could talk
Totally.
about what's happiness to him.
Different
things.
I feel it.
Yeah.
But that seemed to be a term that I found a lot in today. But it doesn't resonate with me. What I keep coming up is like a sexy, confident you. So that's what I actually titled my survey. Quality of life.
Okay. So pause here for a second, because you're talking about the outcomes. You're talking about like things. What you want to start with here are problems. So forget about like the outcomes, happiness, confidence, yada yada yada, right? Start with problems. So Daniela is actually, I feel like maybe the type of people that you want to attract are very closely related to maybe the type of people that Danielle is working with or is trying to attract, right, Danielle?
That's right. It's cool because Saren's in my group and like everybody loves her. They love her writing and stuff. So like,
guys, thanks.
Cool. So Danielle, now that you're making sales and you got, what was that sale you made for 6 months?
4,800.
Right, and then how many sales have you made now at 750?
5, 4. Okay. I should know that on top of my head, but sorry. But yeah, enough.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, what have you learned about the process that maybe you could share with Saren?
For me, the most important thing that I wasn't doing initially was listening properly, period, and taking excellent notes to use their words verbatim when flipping it around and presenting the problem as they said it, and also digging deeper so that if someone said they had a problem and they glossed over it to the next positive thing, I would go back to that and go back to their words verbatim as best as I could and say, okay, so this is what I'm doing now. We were talking about last week, which is really what are the implications of that problem? Like, it might be annoying to you on the surface, and you're telling me about that, but you're passing by. what are the implications of that problem, and let's take it deeper and deeper and more into the future and what it means in other parts of your life. So the listening has been really important, and also that thing where you create like that. I forgot the question, which is like, where are you a year from now? Imagine your life a year from now. Where would you like to be? And create that perfect like paradise island kind of thing. And then, like, okay, cool. Where are we now? Like, tell me how that's like now. You told me that this is what's happening and this is what's happening, and it's that, and like, so you create this huge disparity. And then what I've been saying is like, okay, cool. So how are we gonna get there? Like, how are we gonna get you that guy? Because I already got, like, I'm dry cleaning my pink dress for the wedding. Like, come on, let's do it. And then the answer is, then that's where it becomes uncomfortable. Like, well, I'll just go online again and I visit my Match account, or sometimes it's truly I don't know. And then that's more or less where I say, like, I have some ideas if you'd like my help with that.
Okay, so Daniel, let me pause you right there. So that question, right, Sarah, and that question should sound familiar, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the same exact question I asked you yesterday, right? So here's the thing: you're not at the point yet where, well, you are talking with people, right?
Yeah.
But you're going to be talking with more people. So the question you're really asking yourself right now is what? What's the question that is in your mind right now, or in the front or the back of your mind, in terms of finding your niche, or niching down, or figuring out what they want?
Figuring out the problem.
Okay, cool. So what about that is a challenge?
Which one of the problems really get, like the work-life balance or the stress thing versus like I want confidence, like these are all issues that come up, or like I feel stuck. That's a common thing. I feel really depressed, fatigued. Like, what's the target problem to get at?
Okay, cool. So here's the interesting thing about figuring that out is, so you're a lawyer, right? So I said, when I talk to you, I'm like, oh, you're a lawyer, like, you're smart. So the thing about this is...
Gary.
Yeah.
Gary, you're coming in, like, really choppy.
Yeah.
Your sound.
I'm really choppy?
Yeah.
It's actually quite loud, It's, like, loud and fuzzy.
Yeah. Do you have Dropbox open? Do you have Dropbox open?
I might have Dropbox open.
Well, could you shut down all your dirty sites, please, and focus with us?
I can't do that. That's impossible. Does it sound better? Worse? Same?
Same. Bad.
Bad.
No good. Are you using your fancy headphones? Is that what's going on? The fancy earbuds?
Maybe it's the fancy ones.
Yeah, it's the fancy ones. Still bad.
So bad.
So bad.
Still bad.
It's like the connection. It's not the sound quality. It's the connection.
How's this? Is this better? Worse?
No. It's not your mic. It's not your mic.
It's not my mic. Okay, hold on. Okay, Nathan, you take it from here for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll take it from here.
Take it away, Nathan.
Yeah. So I'll tell you one thing that I hear from you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot. I don't know how to say your name. What is it?
Saren. It's
Saren.
like Karen with an S.
Well, the Saren, yeah, like serendipity, right? So,
Right.
right. So, Saren, you mentioned like all these different areas that you're in, right? Happiness. You mentioned, all these. You just listed a good amount of things like self-confidence and. You mentioned a whole bunch of them, right? So as I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, this is like the common. It's like the common all-purpose cleaner, and you really don't want to be an all-purpose cleaner, okay? You don't want to be the thing that cleans everything. You want to be focused on one particular thing that you're going to solve in that problem, right? Like Gary said earlier, you're going to figure out what that problem is. Okay, and you're going to uniquely position yourself as the #1 specialist for that particular problem. Now, granted, the cool thing is what's going to happen is they're going to get all those beautiful things. They're going to love it so much they're going to glow, okay? And the funny thing is I own theglowmethod.com, so I've been down this road before. The reality is what you're going to make everyone happy and everyone's going to be all high on your drugs, which is great. But what you need to focus on is #1, the problem. But you need to pick one thing that you just love to problem solve. One thing. One thing that you just love, like, oh, I love when people don't believe in themselves and they're and you need to really dive deep with this. I love when people don't believe in themselves and they're afraid to talk to strangers. Okay, and once you identify exactly what that is, then you become a specialist and you create serendipity lifestyle through talking with strangers. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's it, and you just become a master. And once you, and I just want you to imagine this with me for one moment. I want you to imagine your target customer right in front of you right now. And that target customer has this big problem. And this big problem is to go up and talk to strangers with serendipity. Okay? And they walk, that's who they are. They maybe they read a certain type of magazine. They prefer Starbucks over, Dunkin' Donuts. They, maybe they make a certain amount of money each year. Maybe they even have a certain type of job, okay? The reality is they're standing right in front of you right now, and I just want you to just kind of slightly move your body over to the right and look behind them and just see 1 million people behind them, okay? What that is means focus on one particular person with the exact problems that you're going to solve, and guess what? Behind them, there's 1 million people just like them, and you can make more than $1 million. If each one of them gave you $1, you'll make $1 million. But if you try to spread your net to millions of people and think your product is for everyone, it's not. You're not gonna. It's gonna be very difficult to get someone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. I hear you.
Sure. So that's my little tidbit there about when you were talking about all these different areas you help people and you're a life coach for everybody. There's plenty of those. Don't be one of them, because you can pick up a directory. You can pick up a directory and a whole slew of them. You don't want to be in the directories. You want to be a specialist.
I hear
you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Is it better now?
No.
No,
Only
Gary.
when you're quiet.
Gary, I didn't come on this call to take it over.
Just take it away, Nathan.
Oh, shoot.
Just take it away.
Oh, well, I don't even know where you go with these calls, so I'm kind of...
Okay. But is it still choppy?
It's choppy.
Okay, I'm gonna restart. You can't hear me, can you? Just talk about one thing at one time, and I'll be right back. I'll restart. One thing at one time.
Wait, but you can't restart without us, can you? I mean, can we still stay here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't use this that often.
Yeah.
Talk to Danielle about our sales here for a second. I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll tell you about your sales. What's been happening, girl?
Oh, okay. So lately, the big move for me was, it kind of happened in waves. So I made a lot of sales in the beginning of the summer because I just created my online program. And I was selling it like for the low price of $97 to get the sale. Just to be like, okay, it's going to be $1,500 when it's done, but now you're a founding member, and that was the shtick, and it's getting $97. And like the response was like, understandably, like, holy shit, really? And it's like, yeah. So I made a lot of sales, right?
Yeah.
So which was actually really cool because I got a lot of good people and blah blah blah. And then I had the problem of not knowing where to find prospects, and it's still a huge issue. And I'm only beginning to understand how complex of an issue that can be and the solutions, because it would freak me out. Like, Gary would never give me a straight answer. I'm like, should we be doing like Facebook ads? Should I be doing this? And it was like, try a little this, try a little that, like, in my understanding. And so what we've hit upon lately is that the videos that I'm doing, I don't know if you've seen them. Did they come up in your thing, Nathan? Last month, I did like the video challenge, you know, just because like Gary dared me and it was cool. I did like 30 videos in 30 days.
Yeah.
And it was amazing, if I may chime in. She's awesome.
Like it was totally like the lowest of the low budget. Like, hey, how you doing? The lighting is terrible, but let me tell you something, you know.
Yeah.
And it was fun for me, and it resonated, and it like took my awareness. Like, you know, people were more aware of what I was doing, and so it was like, okay, that's something to do. So now we're playing with having people get into like a preliminary online community because it's like it's not that it's just a detail, but my online community now is secret because it's like dating and people are, you know, secretive. So I have them in a closed. I bring them into a closed community and then bring them into a secret community that's the real one. But anyway, so the big problem, the big issue now is getting people in my community to sell to, and so it's been sort of a combination of referrals, which is great. People who I'm meeting, who I've met through the videos, when they're referring me to other people. So it's just kind of like building. And now what I'm doing is I'm selling both my private coaching, which I don't think I hadn't been. So the private coaching is 3 months for $2,500, 6 months for $4,800, and the online program, because it's not complete yet, is I'm doing it at half price of $1,500, which is $750.
Okay.
And so that's what I just sold. And the good thing for me, what was a big struggle for me in the past, was feeling confident and feeling okay with the numbers. You know, like do I have enough? Am I actually going to give you, like, is this actually good? You know, and is it okay to charge that much? And so happily, the $750 is feeling really,
Well,
you know, for now.
I'm gonna interject there for a minute because I have to correct your language pattern. What you're saying is it enough? Is the price right for the market? You know, what am I doing? Again, this goes right back to who your target audience is.
Right.
Okay, I understand if your target audience is, you don't want to adjust your price based on if it's enough. Okay, you adjust your price based on what the market is bearing for your target audience. Okay, because your worth, and I'm going to make this very clear, Danielle, is you're worth $100,000. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, you have to believe it. Okay, the reality is that maybe your clientele is not worth they're not bearing the $100,000 price point. However, guess what? There is a group of people that you can sell your service to that will pay you $100,000. You're just not offering that product right now. Okay? And that's not maybe your target audience. Your target audience is only bearing the price that for that marketplace. So the issue here is, you know, when it comes to price adjustment is two things. One, you have to understand that you're worth the 300,000, the 3,000. You're worth the 5,000. You're worth the $100,000 program. The reality is does your market bear that price? Okay, so exactly. I mean, if you're dealing with people, again, knowing your target audience, if the if the average person is buying those products at a certain price point, they're used to that price point. What I recommend you do is that you bring your price point up, and that's because you're a specialist, and that may be an increase of $1,000, or you could do it by a percentage more, maybe 50% or 100% more than the existing standard competition. So when people come to you and they say, well, how come you're more expensive than Jane Smith down the road? Well, it's because they're general and you're a specialist. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, actually.
Yeah. So again, don't adjust price by if the program's good enough, if the fulfillment's going to be great, if they're going to be wowed. Don't do that. I heard that language pattern. Don't do that. It is good enough. You're worth it, and your program is good enough. It's all about your target audience now. So if you want to make a product that's for actors and celebrities or maybe top athletes, guess what? Your program may be $90,000, right? Exactly. It's it's all about your target audience.
Okay.
Nathan, I missed you.
Man, I missed you, bro.
I miss you, dude. I miss you. I do. I do.
We need to be sitting on that couch right now, just kind of like, we need to do the whole Frank Kern and John Reese video footage, just talking with Tony Robbins, Yeah, man.
You're killing me.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Okay, good. Great, fantastic.
But we lost serendipity.
We lost. Okay, Saren's gonna jump back on,
Okay.
I assume. So you're totally right on, Nathan. Right. So Danielle, what you're saying was.
Oh, that now the price point has changed, and now, and I was saying that, which I mean Nathan was commenting on, but I was saying like I feel comfortable at $750 now, which I think is a good thing, but in reality, it doesn't really matter. But that's the price point that I'm selling it at, and my insecurity. I mean, Gary, my insecurities of like, I don't know, is it going to be enough? Or like, is the program good enough? Am I good enough? All the stuff.
Okay, right. So that's the thing. That's the thing that matters, right? So it's exactly what Nathan said. It's not, is your program good enough? So I want to introduce you to something which I actually used with Saren when I was talking with her, and she knew that I was using it with her. Saren, you there? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
And she knew that I was she knew that I was using it with her, and it comes from this lady. What's her name? Sarah, you know her name? Four
Byron
questions.
Katie.
Right, Byron Katie. Okay, so the questions are, so it's called inquiry. Okay, so here's how that works. So, what do you feel about your program right now as terms of your selling it? What are your feelings that come up in terms of your price?
What am I feeling?
Me?
No, for Danielle. Yeah, for Danielle.
Okay.
That at $750 it's a good deal. At $1,500, I'm not so sure.
Okay, great. Okay. And I know Nathan's one. Nathan's about to he's like, wait. Go, Nathan, go.
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, are you selling good deals? Is that what you want? Is that what you're offering? Are you offering a good deal, or are you offering an amazing product or service, life transformational service?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're offering a good deal, I can go to Walmart and get a great deal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I didn't think you were Walmart. When I first saw your website and Gary told me about you, and I said, I know this girl. You're a specialist, and you're not Walmart. Again, the directories are Walmarts. And you're saying you want to give people a good deal. If you feel that your price point, okay, is not right, then your value's not there. I don't even think it's that's the issue here. I think it's more believability in yourself. Like, am I worth it? Is my program good enough? And I bet you have a whole list of testimonials.
People are psyched for me. Yeah, it's true.
I'm sure they are, right? So you have it. They're telling you you're awesome. They're telling you this program changed my life. Believe it. Now, when it comes to the price, right, if you believe that you're giving value and you're going above and beyond in your heart and you're getting people that are giving you life transformational testimonials, the only question I would combat you on right now is how many refunds have you gotten?
0.
Boom. There you go. So now you have a 0 refund rate. Wow, you never looked at it that way, didn't you? That means your program's so good that no one asks for their money back. That means your program is worth it. It's life transformational, right? Nobody brings a return. Heck, you're better than Walmart. They have a 60-day money-back guarantee. They'll take dirty shoes that you wore them 3 weeks in a row. They don't care. So, again, you have to pull yourself out of that attitude, that mindset. It's a mental shift there. And it's a fearless mindset. And that is where you say, yeah, I'm worth this. This is what I'm worth. You can even say it. I have a 0 return. You can say it to your prospects when you're talking to them. I have a 0 return a refund rate. No one's asked for their money back. You can actually make that a guarantee in a way, right? You can say, I get people results. Here, check this person out, this person, and that person. Does that make sense?
Can you talk more about what you were talking about before, which is like, I get that. I get the concept of like, look, if you're targeting people, if your people are accustomed to paying X amount, whatever, position yourself, whatever percentage higher, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk more about that? Because and like Gary, can you like
Well,
talk about it too? Like,
while Gary was, while Gary was out there for a minute, you were mentioning about where direction to find your people. This goes
Yeah.
back to your target audience. Is where do their eyeballs go? Okay, and and I know everybody has different, things about social media. It all depends on what your avenue is. If your people, okay, because a lot of social media is very simple, right? It's free, everybody's on it. It's very simple to get into, but yet it's not very automated. You have to set up a system to make that happen through your automated funnels. But what you need to understand mostly, okay, is where, even if it's social media, because you mentioned Facebook, is your target audience on Facebook? Are they even on Facebook? Like, is that where they sit? I mean, how do they feel about it? Or is your clients, picking up community newspapers, and reading through is that where their eyeballs go? Right? How do they feel about the mediums of media that they're taking in? Do they take it through magazines? Do they take it through? Let me give you an example, because you're in the dating, yoga, relationships business, right?
yeah.
Okay. A high-end or dating service, right? You can easily go online and sign up with Zoosk or Match.com and all that jazz, right?
Yeah.
But then you take another dating site, which is, oh my gosh, I forgot her name, but it's like, it has a woman's name. It's called Alex something, all right? She's high-end. You'll only find her ads in airplanes. That's it. Airplane magazines. That's the only place. Why? Different person, different eyeballs, right? You'll never find her advertising on Facebook or Google AdWords, none of that. Her specific model, and I forget what the name is, it's like, it's just lunch.com. That's what it is.
Right.
It's just lunch. It's not even, or maybe it's not even .com. Anyway, it's just lunch. And there's a few others, but they only advertise, mainly, one of them, I forget who the name is, they advertise on airplanes. That's it. So again, why? Knowing exactly where your target audience is coming from is crucial. And understanding where their eyeballs go, craft a message that's going to bring them in, give them an amazing free offer to pull them in, to try you out, and then you'll get more business. One thing you also mentioned a referral program. You have referrals, you said?
Yes. Yeah. I don't have a...
You don't have a referral program? No. That's the only thing you should be very, very disappointed or very upset about, or very concerned about your business right now. You talked about your pricing and all that. You should be very concerned about your referral program. Here's someone that brings you a brand new customer, and you don't even give two shits to give them money. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah. What should I do?
You need to pay them.
Okay.
You need to pay them. Think about it. You need to understand what your target, how much does it cost you to get a lead, right? How much is it going to cost you, whether it's a time or an advertisement?
So Nathan, let me pause you for a second.
Sorry,
No, all good. No, it's quality stuff here.
All right.
So the thing is, even with referrals, right? So I want to just give an example. So like my goal on these calls is to not only talk about the problems, but show you what I'm doing so that you could do it for yourself, right? So how did I connect? How did Saren sign up, right? So I worked with Daniela. Just want to give you an example. I worked with Daniela, right? Yep. Daniela got results, right? Yep. Then she got results. She's like, wow, I got results. I want to work with you one-on-one. I'm like, okay, great, fantastic. We're going to work on one-on-one. We're going to get more results. Now there's more results, right? So proof there, right? It's not just theory, proof in action. Mm-hmm. So then I said, great. Danielle, I sent you a form, right? And I said, it was a feedback form, which I'll provide for everyone here, right? It's a feedback form, like what's great, what can be improved, if you like it, whatever the specific questions are. But the last question was, if you would you refer me? And then the question after that would be like, okay, well, who would you refer me to, right? And boom, in that form, Saren came up, right? So there you go, right? So then Danielle sent a little video, right, via text to Saren, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we got on a call, right? So that's how that whole process worked. Now, even before you pay them, you have to have that process in place. You have to have a form, right? So it's not complicated. You have a form, a feedback form, and there on that form you ask for a referral. Now the next step after that is exactly what Nathan is talking about, which is a referral program where you pay people.
Yeah, and it could be, and it could be like literally a check or money, cash, or whatever. Okay, it doesn't have to be that. It has to be something of equal value. Okay, it could be that you could put money if your program is all about putting money in people's pockets, which your program may not fit well. Maybe it's not about money. Maybe it's about getting them on their next date or giving them a free two coaching sessions. You have to figure out what's working for you. But you have to reward your referrals, right? Okay, you have to reward the people that are sending you clients for free, because if you don't, you're not going to get more. But the more you give to the people who are sending you referrals, the more they're going to give you. And from what I hear, that's probably that's the biggest concern right now that you have, because if they're bringing you leads, that you need to reward them. Even go back to the ones that already did. Don't do it on new people starting now. Go back, go back and get them.
Yeah, and I would say that what Nathan is talking about, right, he's talking about money. The reason why he's talking about money is because he's in the real estate space. So in the real estate space, they're all about money. They're all about, like, everything is anchored towards money.
Yeah.
So for you, it doesn't have to be money. In fact, I would probably recommend that it's not money for you, because it should be added value on top of your service, or it should be some kind of gift. Right? Or it could be a competition. I like competitions for referrals, which I'm probably going to implement soon here myself, and then you could follow that. But the point is, you should reward them with something, not necessarily money if you're not in the money space. Right, Nathan? You agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if you look at banks, they reward you for moving. It's a banking thing, so they give you money to move or refer people.
Yeah.
It depends. Try it. You have to test it out. If money is the clicker, then use it. If it's not, and if it's added value, maybe it's your course, right? Maybe it's your 7 CD set about I don't know, driving to your next date. I don't know what it may be. Right, and it's a free audio program, and you give it to them. It's a physical item. Wow, that's great. You normally charge $197 for it, but now you're giving it to them for free. That may be your shtick right there. I'm not sure. You have to test it, but you have to reward them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gary, any suggestions? I don't know what you mean by competition. I'll find out, but any suggestions? Just
copy exactly what I do in the next coming weeks.
Really?
Is my suggestion. Yeah, absolutely. And use the form. You haven't even used the form yet. So I would, and Saren, this is...
the form to get referral, right?
Yeah, Saren, this is true for you as well. Like, look at, there's actually a notebook that I use, which I'll send you. But look at all the people, right, that you've ever worked with. Anybody that's ever given you money. Okay, you make a list of those people. And then ask those people how you did. Right there within those people are referrals. Okay? So even before we go out and talk about some of the things, do some of the things that Nathan talked about, like, figuring out the demographic, figuring out where are the people that you're trying to attract, where are they? And Nathan made a great point, which is, hey, your ideal people, the people that will pay you the most money or that you really want to work with might not be on Facebook, right? There's markets. I know this might be like mind-blowing to some people. There's a whole market of people, many markets of people that are not on Facebook, right? Now when I meet girls and they're younger, they're not on Facebook. They're on Instagram. It's even weird for me to be like, oh, what's your Facebook? They look at me weird. Like, Facebook? Who uses that? No, I'm on Instagram.
I just was going to make a joke about that. Gary, how old are these girls?
How old are these girls?
No, I'm telling you, like, girls under 25 are not on Facebook.
No.
They're on Instagram.
That's true.
Okay? They're above 18, full disclosure. I love it. Okay, so referrals, right, would be the first step. That's the first step in any business. If you want to get sales, start with somebody who's already given you money. Okay. Cool. So
I should just make a form, like make that form, just make it obviously my
You don't need to make it. If you go to my form, you just click on File, save as, and you could just use exactly my form for you.
Okay.
No need to reinvent the wheel here. Copy it.
Can you send that to me?
Yep, you got it, Saren. So Saren, going back to you here. The thing that you want to keep in mind, right, is that you're very smart, right? So sometimes in marketing, it's not a benefit to be smart. Here's what I mean.
Well, I'd like to correct you. It's not that I'm smart. I just, as you can see, I do the work really quickly.
Yes.
You know, I'm not a procrastinator.
You're not. You're not.
And that's why I got through law school. But I wouldn't go to the smart thing automatically.
Take
continue.
it. Take it.
I'll take it.
Somebody gives you a compliment. Take it.
I know. I'll take it. Just to be clear.
So just to be clear, you're still smart. Okay. So here's the thing. You want to try to dumb down, right? When you're the whole methodology that I show you, right? It's about one thing. It's not about being smart. It's not about like really sitting down and just trying to figure it out. It's really about one thing, which is exactly what Danielle was talking about, which is
listening.
Listening. There we go. Exactly. So you don't have to be like, oh, I'm going to figure this out. You know, I'll just sit down and brainstorm. No, if you listen, people will tell you exactly what it is they want, exactly what it is they're looking for, exactly their problems or challenges. And if you need any proof of this, the fact that you're here should be proof of that, because that's how I got you here. Right? I got you here, or you got here, however way you want to say it, is because I asked you questions. Right? So majority, if I did my job correctly, the majority of our time in the transition from not working together to working together, the majority of our time was spent me asking you questions. Make sense?
Yeah.
So that's what you want to do. The opposite of what I'm doing here.
Right.
Right? You want to ask questions.
Yeah.
And that's how you're going to figure out your quote-unquote niche, your quote-unquote target, your quote-unquote like demographic of the people. And the other thing is, what people sometimes worry about is, if I do this, then I can't do that. Right? If I focus on this, then I can't do that, and I also want to do this, and I also want to do that. Right? So I want to serve these people, and I want to make them happy, and they're joyful, and I want them to glow, right? So that's all good. The good news is that you don't have to just do that for the entirety. Just one focus at one time will get the job done. Then in the next time unit, it could be the next thing, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For sure. Okay.
That's hard for me, by the way. I mean, just personally, like, you know, Sarah and I, you and I talked, and it's like, we can do this, and we can do this, and I can add on this, and then there's this possible, like, I mean, Gary, you know, like, I want to go, like, a year out and, like, talk about all the possibilities of, like, things I can do and people I can serve, and it's like, well, that's really cool, but, like, how about paying your rent, you know?
Yeah, right now.
Money. Like, I mean, really, like, so,
yeah,
I've learned that, I'm learning that now.
So when you say, you know, pay your rent, what do you mean specifically?
That, well, for me it means that it's more important to be clear on what I'm doing and make sales for this program
yes
right now.
Yes.
And you said this in the very beginning, that make sales, other problems go away, right? Or other problems get resolved or solved, right? You make sales, what's happening is I'm making sales on this program that I'm doing, that I feel good about, and all the other secondary things that seemed important are coming together because I'm getting formed, so I'm learning what people are really looking for, I'm understanding their wording, I'm getting like the niche, you know. I'm also building my own confidence, and I'm also actually building the program so that it's cool and seeing what people are responding to. So like making the right thing doesn't become the most important part of it, just getting sales is the most important part of it.
Wow, my mind is blown.
I know. It only took, what, like 6 months to work out?
Yeah, that only took 6 months, that whole thing right there. That only took 6 months to, wow.
Well, thank fucking God it's recorded, you know what I mean?
So,
Love it.
so brilliant, to hear you say that, because what most people are trying to do is quote unquote build their brand, right? But the way that you build your brand is by making sales. That's how you build your brand, okay? That's how you build your brand. That's how you help people. That's the thing, okay? It's not by going out there and
Building.
whatever it is, spreading the message, okay? Spreading the message. You can't. You want to get results for people. That's what you want. You want results.
Right.
That's what matters. I work with you. You got results. You got a 4,800 sale. Then you got 4 sales of 750. Then you're gonna get sales that are much bigger, just like Nathan talked about. The only thing that's stopping you from making sales that are much larger, okay, is what?
Mindset?
Yep.
Boom, right? So I was going to say you, but it's actually not you. It's your belief about you. Okay? It's your belief about you. It's your belief about what's possible for you. It's your belief about what your mother told you about you. It's your belief about all the other relationships in your childhood. Okay? That's what it's about. It's about your beliefs and your thoughts. Those are the enemy and also the friend. There's some that are enemies. There's some that are friends. Okay? Your goal is to get rid of the enemy thoughts and make friends with the new friends. Okay? I just want to give you an example of something somebody said in the group. I think his name is Ilya. And he said, oh, all my friends are like cheap or something and da-da-da and yada yada. I was like, dude, get new friends.
Get new friends.
It's like, that's what he sees. Okay? That's not an objective reality. There is no objective reality, okay? People do one of 4 things. Delete, distort, generalize. Delete, distort, generalize. That's how you talk about things. You're deleting something, you're distorting something else, and you're generalizing.
Isn't that 3?
There's a 4th thing, but I
Did you say
forget
we
what
do
it
4
is.
things?
I was waiting for that cliffhanger. I'm like, wait.
I'm
It's
smart. I'm really smart.
Just making sure everyone's paying attention here.
Yeah.
Okay. So the point is, the only thing that's stopping you from making a $2,500 sale or a $5,000 sale or a $10,000 sale is your beliefs about what's possible for you and your thoughts about it. That's it. Nathan, what you say about that?
Oh, yeah. Daniela, you took notes on what I said earlier. It really is just it's about it's about you trying it. There's nothing to lose. I would ask for full payment on your program. What's your most expensive program right now?
6 months, one-on-one coaching, 4,800.
Okay, so 4,800. Why isn't it 5,000?
Because I wanted to give a discount.
Oh, you're all about discounts. You love them discounts.
I
Listen.
have appropriate shame. I feel the shame, okay.
Let me ask. No.
The
I'm
discount shame.
What?
I'm not trying to shame you in any way. Please don't take me that way. I am not trying to embarrass you or shame you in any way, because what you offer and what you do and who you are as a person is phenomenal and bright and glowing. Right? That was a hint towards the other girl. But anyway, so no, it's
Glowing,
truly.
glowing.
Yeah.
The other girl.
Sharon is glowing.
Yeah, Sharon's going. So the reality, Danielle, is what you do is fantastic, and you obviously prove results for people. But what the even down to your pricing is obviously an objection in your mind, and it's a mental barrier. So that's something that you need to approach. If you're going to, I recommend right away you change your price to $49.97 or $49.95, one of the two. Okay, and simply why $9.97 or $9.90 or $9.95 at the end there is the 5 and the 7 is psychologically better than a direct, $5,000. It just works better. Just like Walmart uses 88, that's their, thing. They broke a psychological barrier towards everyone else was doing 95s and 97s. So they broke a psychological barrier by being cheaper than everyone else by doing 88. Okay, so and it works. It's powerful. It worked massively. So so again, I would raise your price immediately to the 4,995 or 97, and state your price in full. And I want you to try it on your next few clients. And sorry, I don't, follow what Gary's saying. This is just my recommendation.
No, this is absolutely,
okay.
Everyone knows this is all in line here.
Okay, cool. So I would highly recommend that the next few prospects that you're going to get, I want you to just state your price at that price point, $49.97, and that's it. And shut up, don't say anything, just pause. Okay, the price is $49.97, and you pause and you're quiet, and that's it. That's it. And if they say, "Wow, that's expensive," or "Wow, that's," well, maybe you're not the one. Now you can work on this with Gary because this is a whole in-depth training. But you can say something like, well, maybe this isn't for you. Okay. There's a lot of different things you can do in a sales process that I'm not going to get into. But what's most important at this point right now is change your price immediately.
Okay.
Make sure it's close to that $5,000 mark. And the next few prospects that you get, state the full price. There is no payment plans. It's paid in full. Give them a bonus when they pay in full. Okay, give them a bonus when they pay in full, and take away the bonus if they need it in payments.
Okay.
Okay, so that means when they pay in full, you give them a great bonus worth X number of dollars, $197, $297, whatever it may be. Okay, and then take away the bonus when they do a payment plan, half down, half in 30 days, whatever it may be.
Okay, so let me talk. Danielle, you have questions there?
I want to hear what you have to say first. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So let me talk on this point a little bit because I think it's important. So, and I want to use Saren as an example, right? So yesterday, Saren signed up, and what Saren was telling me in the beginning. Saren, are you okay with me sharing this, by the way? Is that
sure.
Cool? Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
fine.
So we're like an open family here, right? So, what you were saying, what I caught you saying, or what I picked up you saying about midway through the call, was that you don't make decisions without thinking about it. Right? No? Okay,
that
tell
I
me.
typically make decisions without thinking about it, but that I'm trying to train myself to think about things and take my time.
Okay, right. But basically what I heard you say in that was you're going to think about, or you want to position yourself to think about it. Okay? So when you told me that, I knew that that's coming. That wasn't I wasn't surprised by that. That's a typical thing. And what I told you was that I want to work with people that make decisions quickly. And this is 100% true. I do want to work with people that want to make decisions quickly, because guess what? Just how you made that decision, you move after you've made that decision, you went in and moved forward. You went through module 1. You did the thing. You made the form, right? So I knew if you were going to do that quickly, you were going to move quickly, right? And I also know that people who move slow, that I really don't want to work with. I get to choose, right? You get to choose. It's your business. You get to run it however the fuck you want. Okay? You get to run it however you want. Seriously. It's your business. So if you do not want to do payments, don't work with people. Like me personally, I don't like payments. Okay? Why? Because then I have to worry about, like, something might come up, whatever. They're not going to work hard enough. First of all, that's the first thing. The first thing is when you make a bigger commitment, you're going to work harder. Okay? If you invested some money, you're going to make sure that you're going to get your money back. How are you going to make sure you're going to get your money back? You're going to work your ass off to make sure, because that's the bar that's been set for you. You set the bar lower, you're going to achieve lower. You set it higher, you're going to achieve higher. Right? Very simple. So if you want to do, like, Saren, what you told me was that you were doing payments, you were working with people for 3 months, and you were doing payments for 6 months. Right? My mind blown. When you told me that, I was like, what? But you also told me that nobody ever missed a payment, which is cool, right? Which was great. But it's like your show. You get to set the rules. You get to run it however way you want it. Now, here's the cool part. When you tell people how you run it, they'll understand, and they'll work with you, or they won't. But they'll understand. But they won't understand if you're confused, if you're not sure, right? If you're like, oh, do I want payments? Do I want upfront? Nathan, any words on that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I have a very over the years, I used to chase a lot of money.
Right.
Chasing money means you're constantly trying to get the next 30-day payment, right? And over the years, I've learned in sales and marketing is that, and this starts with your marketing up front, on the front end, right? So just to give you an example, is that when a prospect calls me, okay, I'm going to be very clear and watch my language patterns. When a prospect calls me and says, hey, I heard you do great things, and I say, yes, I am a magician. I can produce magic. They say, well, what do you do? How does it work? What's your pricing? This is what I do. I pull rabbits out of hats, and people give me credit cards, and I'll help you in that business too. I am not cheap. That's one thing I tell them right away. I am not cheap. I am expensive. That's right. I'm expensive. I'm anywhere between $30,000 to $50,000. Can you afford that? I tell them, ask them right up front. Is that within your budget? You can word it many different ways you want. I ask them, can you afford that? Is that within your budget? Is that what you were expecting to pay? Have you shopped this around already? Am I the only one on your list? If they haven't, if I get all those questions asked, because if that's the case and they're shopping around, I do something that's called a takeaway. And Gary could elaborate on this more because this isn't a sales training call, but I'll tell you what. I do what's called a takeaway, and I say, listen, if you are not in the market for anyone else and you 100% want to work with me, then I'm going to give you the wiring instructions because I deal with larger payments, and you can wire me the full amount. Now, I understand that some people need hey, I'm moving money around, blah, blah, blah. Hey, that's fine. I need half down and half in 30 days. I do nothing over longer periods of time, 6 months to a year, unless I'm under a contract, which is a very different situation, which means someone wants me around for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and they want to keep me on their team. It's a much more in-depth and it's much more expensive. But what I told you for those price points is different because I use, on that call, I set what's called the expectation, and you have to do that. You have to set the stage and the expectation of what they're going to be getting and paying for up front, okay? And when you do that and you ask them questions, well, are you in the market looking for any other trainer? Have you been gone through a consultation with anyone else? Are you in the market looking for the best price or the best quality? Ask them those questions. It doesn't hurt because, again, you're going to get more. Again, like Gary said earlier, is the more questions you ask, the more you're going to get out of it. So even when it comes down to price, just ask them about the price. Talk about, are you in the market, for price or quality, and they're going to tell you. They'll be open and honest with you, and then you can give them the exact program they need. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Specific to that, how to open up like that, like how to open up with saying the expectations of price, because that seems hard.
That seems what?
I figure out how I would do that right now.
It seems what?
Hard.
It seems hard.
Difficult, confusing to me as to how I would do that.
Okay, let's pause that for a second. Okay. You said it seems hard. Okay? I want to talk about this a little bit. What Nathan is talking about here is something like equivalent to this. Okay? There's nothing hard about what he's saying. He's being honest, right? He's saying, look, I think here's what I've noticed in working with people, right? What people are thinking sales is it's some kind of like mystery voodoo magic where you get people in under one thing and then you somehow magically move them in like threw some kind of magic into this other thing. It's like a spell, right?
Yeah.
It's not a spell, okay? It's not a spell. You're either pregnant or you're not pregnant.
I'm
okay?
pregnant. I'm
Right.
pregnant. So everybody
Nathan
knows.
is pregnant. Nathan is
Yeah.
pregnant. He doesn't mess around. And that's important, right? You're either pregnant or not pregnant. Don't be half pregnant. Don't sell from the back of your heels. Don't say, oh, I want to talk to you about this, but don't talk about your price. Now, there's different ways to do it, and Module 3 talks about that. But what Nathan is doing here is just he's being upfront. He's being upfront. He's being upfront and honest.
Yeah, very
asking
honest.
questions. He's asking questions that are qualification questions. Why? So to serve. These are serving questions. Why? Because he doesn't want to waste their time. Or his
My
time.
That's right.
Why? Because Nathan's time is valuable.
Valuable. Hey, Gary, let me interject there for a minute, and I know Daniela's probably already experienced this. Daniela, when you've had someone come in at a lower price point because, you've been like, oh, yeah, let me just get them in, aren't they so much more difficult to deal with?
Usually, yeah.
Usually most of the time, yeah. So, the thing what I love to do, and Gary, am I at liberty to share a short story here? Okay.
Absolutely. Love short stories.
So I had the story. I had an article in the Charlotte Observer, and I don't even know how it got there. It got through through my PR companies. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm at a Starbucks grabbing a tea for a meeting that I'm having there, and this man walks in, and he says, "Hey, I know you," and I said, I don't know you, and he said, "Well, you're the guy who goes around these real estate events, and you're helping a bunch of people. You're actually helping that guy down the street." I said, "Yeah, I'm helping him out." And he says, "You know what? I saw your article in the Charlotte Observer. That's how I found your face, but I never saw your picture. And you know what you did for that guy? People are talking about you. And listen, I've been in sales for 30 years, and I want to be a sales trainer." And he went on and on about himself and his program and all that. I said, "That's great. That's awesome, man. I'm really excited for you. That's awesome." He's like, "But you don't understand. I have all these ideas, and I need to get it out there, and I want to train people. I've always wanted to train people." And I said, I'm going to call him Joe, okay? So I said, "Joe, that's great." I said, "You should really take action on that." And you know what he said to me? He said, no, but I want you to help me." I said, yeah. He said, "No, because I know what you're doing. I know you're helping people." I said, "Yeah, man." I said, "I can help you, but I'm very, very expensive." I said, "Can you afford $50,000? And he said, "No, I can't afford $50,000. My wife would kill me." I said, "Well, maybe then you need to have another conversation with your wife and see how bad you want to do this, because that might be what it's going to take. But let me ask you a few more questions, Joe. Joe, what's going on in your business? Tell me where you're at so I can get a better gauge on pricing." So anyway, he rambled on a little bit more, told me about his business. I asked him Joe a few more questions, and then I said, "Joe, you know what? Based on what you told me, and I have complete clarity on what you're trying to do, you're not at the $50,000 price point. You're anywhere between 15 to 30. Now, out of 15 to 30, are you looking for price? Are you trying to shop for price, or are you trying to shop for quality?" He says, "Well, I like quality." I said, "So you'd be more up towards the $30,000 mark. How far are you from the $30,000? And then you know what he said? He said, "Well, I got $10,000 in savings. I got an IRA that I could move money out of." And he's telling me all this money he's got on credit cards and all this stuff, right? He just opened up and told me. So anyway, I share that with you because there's a pattern there, and I let them know, and this is my marketing because I'm a specialist, and just like you're a specialist, I set the stage that I have specialist pricing. I'm not a general person, okay? I don't put my prices all over my websites. Now, some people may do that, which is fine, but I'm a specialist. So there's certain things that I have to do and qualifications that I have to put my prospects through in order to get the pricing and get them on board with my rules, the way we're going to do business, and the way I'm going to help them get results. And Danielle, I haven't had a refund yet.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the short story I wanted to share with you because, you set the stage. up front with the person, like Gary was saying earlier. You set the stage, be open and honest, and allow that person to be qualified by you. And state, and you may start at a higher price point. Maybe it is. Maybe you say I'm expensive or whatever it is. Maybe you say my program is up to $5,000. Tell me a little bit more what you're trying to get done. Let me see if it's a right fit for you, right? So that way you may say, okay, well, that's not the program, or maybe it is, and you say, well, how far are you from the 5,000? You know, and that's where you can decide and make judgment on what the right program is for them, or maybe your other programs that are 4,000 or 3,000, whatever it is.
All right. Okay. I have a question. Like, so with that guy in that story, and like translating into my situation, like, if you're like, yeah, my thing, $50,000. I mean, you're not at that price point. And you told that guy he's not that price point, but you're at like the 15 to 30, and you're edging towards 30.
Yeah.
Did you have a program that was fitting of like a $30,000 program that you were selling him into?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the assumption is that you have tiers of things.
Yes.
And that you are helping him out by placing him in the most appropriate thing that he's ready for, and that would help him out.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. And so you have tiers too. Like, you have different levels of your programs. So your program starts at, what's the lowest price?
$750.
$750, and it's all the way up to $5,000. So when someone comes up to you, you say, listen, my programs range anywhere between $750, or just say $800, right? $795, $795 to $49.95. Okay. Are you looking for price? Are you shopping for price or for quality? And then take it from there. But you don't have to tell every level of each program is. Like, oh, I have a $795, I have a $39.95. You can just you make the decision on where they should be. And if there's any price objections, then you'll get that in asking more questions.
Let me talk a little bit, because this is an important thing. Let's say, like Nathan's talking about different price levels, right? And this is what we talked about yesterday, right? Different price levels, different values of your service, right? And you actually asked me a question, which I want to share here, which was, you asked me, like, what are my values, right? What am I in this to make money, right? You asked like a question like that, right? Mm-hmm. I don't remember the exact question, but it was something like that, right? Mm-hmm. And do you remember my answer? What did I say to that?
Money first, I think.
Well, I didn't say money first. But I implied that. I said, look, yeah. I said, I'm in business. I'm in business. I'm in business, man.
I'm in business, man.
I'm in business. Right? I said, look, I'm in business. Right? So, yes, I make money. I help other people make money. I make a little bit of money. Right? Do I care about the people I work with? You could ask Danielle. Danielle, do I care about the people I work with?
Yes, you do.
Okay, great. Mucho, right? So I care a lot about the people I work with. I also care about making money, right? I help other people make money. I make a little bit of money. I'm not shy about that. I'm not shy. I feel like it's a great thing, right? So other people, like you've told me, like your previous coach, you said, well, she says she's all about the thing, but really, she was all about the money. So notice a trend here. Both me and Nathan are saying the same thing. We're not half pregnant. We're always pregnant. Or always not. Either way. But we're never half pregnant.
Great.
And it's important. That's an important thing to let people know. You're not midway. Mm-hmm. You're not midway. You're in business. Mm-hmm. They will accept you for who you are. They'll accept you for not being in business by you showing them that you're not in business. The way you act, right? That shows them you're not in business. You're not serious. Why would they work with somebody who's not serious? I wouldn't. I wouldn't work with somebody who's not serious. If they're not talking about money, listen, a rich person will bring up money fast.
Really quick.
Real quick. What's that song? Real quick. Real quick. It's a Drake song, 0 to 100. Real quick, right? So think what would Drake do? Real quick. And you bring up money, not necessarily your money, but their money. What is it costing them? to stay where they are? What is it costing them to stay where they are? Because there's a cost, and most people don't realize that there's a cost, and it's a big one. It's a big one. There's a cost to stay where you are. It's not free. The big pet peeve I have is when I talk to business owners and they say I'm breaking even. That shit makes me want to choke. Like, breaking even? You're in business, you're breaking even, you're losing money. What are you working for? Stop working. What is this breaking even? Nathan, you with me? You feel me?
Oh, I get you. Yeah, breaking even.
What does that mean?
Shut down the door.
Shut down the door.
Burn the place and leave.
Okay.
Cool.
So, Saren, you've been kind of quiet. What's your feedback so far? What are you feeling?
Oh, I'm just listening.
Okay.
I'm just taking it all in right now.
Okay. So be an active participant. What have you learned so far?
Oh, well, I mean, I like what is it costing you to stay where you are? And I listened to all that Nathan said in terms of the price points, and probably not at the 50K, the 15 to 30K in price and quality.
Yeah, and please understand, Saren, is that you can't go by my price. You're in when I sold personal development.
Yeah.
Just to give you a heads up, when I sold personal development, I used to have this product called the Glow Method. All right, glowmethod.com. It doesn't even work anymore, right? And when I used to
stop glowing.
Stop glowing, yeah. When I used to sell personal development, my prices weren't that high, sweetie. They were $197.
Oh, no, I was just quoting you.
Yeah.
But like I was ready, and I wouldn't charge ever.
But you can. Jack Canfield does. Jack Canfield does. I'm just saying.
Not at the moment. So
no,
and
exactly.
so does Tony Robbins and
yeah,
all
exactly.
of them.
Exactly.
I get that, but not right now. I'm just saying that in terms of what you were just writing, what I wrote down.
Sure.
Yeah, so no, I got a ton from this, and setting expectations. I'm taking notes. The referral program, I'm with you. Okay. I'm just trying to, wrap my mind around still the niche and the,
Yeah, you'll get that the more people you talk with. As more and more people fill out your survey, as more people enter your group, more people. Yeah.
And then I should add, so in order to do a strategy session, which I call a breakthrough session, with me, they fill out an application. Right. So the first question in the application, when it comes to living life on your terms, what's your biggest challenge?
Right.
So I have answers. I have about 60 answers to that question already without even having to put out the survey. So I should go back to that.
Yes.
And look at that for the problem. And I didn't even think of that. So.
Yep. Yeah. True. Yeah, you want to get more people in though, but yes, you do want to look at that and see what the commonalities. That's exactly what Daniela and I have been working on. One-on-one exactly is going through those and trying to figure out what that is.
Yeah, because has been so helpful, beyond, to actually figure out who my people are, and really, really counterintuitive to what I thought. Some of it was on point, some of it was oh yeah, that makes sense, but Gary, you told me that people would say the same thing, and I've heard this over and over again, but I didn't believe it. I was no, people are authentic and they're unique, and they're not. They say the same thing, word for word.
Yeah.
So it becomes to people when you kind of anticipate what they're saying. But it's been amazing to get all the surveys that I have.
Cool. Okay, and then the other thing that I want to kind of the last thing is before we bring it home is you want to like Nathan talked about different levels, right? So I want you to think about you as a doctor. Okay? So what does that mean? When you go to a doctor and you go to them with the problem, you come with the problem. You don't come with the solution. You come with the problem. You come to them hoping that they can understand your problem and based on that, figure out a solution. So it's not on your part when you go to the doctor to figure out a solution. Mm-hmm. I just want you to sit with that for a second. It's not, your doctor never asks you, hey, do you think that you should have this heart surgery? The fuck kind of question is that? No, like he's gonna say, okay, here's what you got. You got these problems. Here's the possible solutions, and here's the one I recommend you do if you want to live. Okay? You could do these other ones if you don't. That's cool. Not everybody deserves to live. Okay? So how does that relate to you? When somebody comes to you with a problem, it's weak on your end to give them a choice based on price. I don't believe in that. Okay? I don't work with people on a monthly basis. I don't work with them for 1 month. Why? Because I've worked with enough people to know that 3 months is the minimum that someone needs to get it going properly. Right? I know after 1 month, I've had where people made over $10,000 with 1 month, no problem, right? But for most people, they need around 3. Okay? To like make it grow, to get their mind right, to get everything right. So somebody who just works with me with 1 month might not get the end result in the first month, and then they quit. Who has that helped? That hasn't helped me. That hasn't helped them. It doesn't help anybody. But when they make a commitment for 3 months at least they're committed to that. Mm-hmm. Right? They're not gonna quit after the first month. Mm-hmm. Right? So I don't recommend you work with people month to month. I recommend you work with people for the minimal or the maximum or whatever you feel is the right amount of time for them to get the desired result. Money is not a part of that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right? If you got cancer, you're not trying to be like, oh, I want to go with it takes 6 months to get rid of it, okay, of chemo, or I've never had cancer, God forbid, and hope nobody does, but like it takes a certain amount of time. So you're not going to be like, I don't have the money, I'm going to go with half a treatment and hope it works out. You're not going to do that. That's stupid, right? Mm-hmm. So don't let your people do that.
For sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Nathan, what your thoughts about that?
Program.
What's that?
I don't offer a 1 month. I only offer the 3 month or 6 month. So
there you go.
Good. Yeah.
Nathan, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely, Gary. I think it's important that you have your programs mapped out to what you're offering, and if it does take a certain amount of time to get to that result, make sure you map that out and say, yeah, I can. I can definitely get you those results in that certain amount of time, and this is what it's going to take. I agree, absolutely.
Yeah, pretty much. So, point there that I'm trying to make is, if price is the thing that they're looking for, and they say, well, that's too much or whatever it is, you can overcome the objections, and I talk about that in Module 3, exactly how and blah, 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 right? But the bottom line is, if they're not willing to do that, don't work with them.
Yeah.
That's just, like, there's nothing more complicated than that. Like, if they want to do it, they'll do it, right? And you gotta do your part and bring your A game into asking them questions, helping them get clarity, right? All that stuff. But if they're really stuck on price, then they're not the person for you. That's just the bottom line, right? And they're not going to get the results anyway, because cheap people don't get results.
Mantra for life.
Well, yeah, cheap. And then the other last thing that I just kind of want to touch on is, and then Nathan, I'm actually curious what your thoughts on this is, but my belief is the way, like, if you want to change the way people buy from you, you got to change the way you buy. Like, you got to change the way you buy, right? So your people are a reflection of you. They're a mirror reflection. So if you make decisions slowly, you think about it for weeks, 7 days, you need time to think about it, you procrastinate, you're in fear, you're not sure, okay? Don't be surprised when your people are like, I'm not sure, I have to think about it, right? Don't be surprised. You want to change that? When somebody makes you an offer, boom, you like it? Go. Run with it. Here's my Visa. Here's my credit card. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this is what you want. And when you make decisions like that, like let's do this, then guess what? You're going to expect other people to make decisions like that. And guess what? They will. They'll love it. Okay? It's the easiest and best decision-making strategy there is. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
So Gary, a quick little story. This is like for everybody actually about like psychoanalysis of me and money. Last week, Gary asked me to like ask me what I'm going to do with with the money that I'm going to make in the next 3 months, because I'm targeted for 10K per month the next 3 months, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's totally happening. So that'll be fun, right? And you're like, okay, what are you going to do with the money? I'm like, I don't know. And I truly didn't know. Like I was like, I don't know. It's just like cool to have. And I was psyched for like the number. I'm like, I'm gonna make 30K. It'll be fun, But I thought about it, and like, I mean, I draw like a rough like vacation kind of plan. But the interesting thing is that I told my mother about this, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm thinking about like, what I'm gonna spend my money on and how I'm gonna work it. And she's like, well, you can't spend all your money. Like what's wrong with going to the bank? I'm like, Ma, you're missing the point. Like, that's the whole thing is like I'm supposed to enjoy it, And it's just, I'm like, I'm not putting all of it. Like, don't worry, I'm not going to, like, the Galapagos Islands or anything. Like, I'm just planning something, and it's good to spend money first. And all that to say that she was like, I know, it doesn't have anything to do with, like, my, belief in you, but, like, I'm more conservative with money, and you know that. I was like, oh. Okay, well, there it is. Like, can you be more obvious? Like, thank you for, like, seeing where my shit comes from. That's all.
Right, exactly, and that's exactly what you told to me. You said even when I told you, Danielle, even when I told you, like, write down exactly what you're gonna buy with the $10,000 per month, with the $30,000. You said like, oh, I'm gonna put it in the bank. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I can't get excited about earning money so I can put it in the bank. Like, that doesn't give me an erection. Like that, I don't get. It's like there's nothing exciting from that, right? So what are you working towards? There's got to be something specific. Money is not a motivator, right? Money is just a paper with the numbers on it. Like, that's not a motivator. If you want to get motivated, you want to get to that $10,000 per month or more, you got to get specific. Right. I'm going to get this car. I'm going to get this vacation. I'm going to drive this. I'm going to go on this vacation to this place. You got to have the picture of that thing, right? And even Danielle, even as you wrote that description is still not clear.
I know.
It's not clear, right? It's not clear. And there's no picture, and it's like I can't even visualize that. It's like 5,000 is going to go to the bank. No, 10,000 that you could spend. That you could spend on something. Don't worry about that you won't have any money. Don't worry about saving the money. Worry about how you're going to make more. Okay, that's it. Cheap people, poor people, they try to save money. Okay, rich people, they just go out and make more. Right. So, Sarah, like an exercise that you might want to consider doing is, what are you going to do with the money that you want to make, the goal that you set, right?
I know. Oh, I know what I'm going to spend the money on. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
What you're asking? Oh, yeah. I'm going to travel. I have trips planned to Ghana and Uganda for sure.
Whoa.
That's Nathan's territory. Nathan knows about that. Right there.
Cool.
Why Uganda?
There's a women's health center that
Where?
An organization in Budando.
What's the name of it?
The Subi Health Center. Suubi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I want to take a lot. I need to travel a lot, and I want to get my nonprofit started.
Awesome.
And I want to be able to hire more people and create this. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I would like to get an apartment in Venice and get a Vespa.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. And you will.
And I will.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Nathan's in Uganda. So So we're going on.
Nathan's in Uganda.
Nathan, are you in Uganda? You're somewhere.
No, I just got back 3 months ago.
Oh, okay, you got back.
Oh,
Okay.
where were you?
I was all over. I lived out there for a year. My wife is
cool.
Ugandan. My wife is
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So cool. Okay, perfect.
Okay, cool. So let's do this. Let's wrap up with your biggest takeaways from today, and one big thing that you take away, maybe some little things, and what action you're going to take as a result from it. So whoever wants to start first.
I'll start. Well, I had a lot of takeaways, but definitely that I need to be a specialist and really get clear on what I'm a specialist on. And so my action is going to be tomorrow. I'm going to go through all of the application forms and figure out what the problem is that I'm going to address and get really clear on that. Is that
fantastic? Awesome.
Cool. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Danielle, what you got?
Well, for me too, actually, was like to be a specialist and also to have a lot more confidence about pricing. And I'm really thinking about like putting that up front and just changing the way I talk to people and say like, hey, this is what this is. I don't work like other dating coaches. I'm not going to give you, because I do distinguish myself. I'm like, I'm not going to give you like dating tips and tell you what to wear. Like, I'll tell you that as well, but like this is something where you can hear and it's going to talk to you in a way that like you'll understand, and it's yogic and all this kind of stuff. And it's it's a value, and I'll just like put the price up there, I think. I'm not exactly sure how, like, but like this is something that is, a big investment. And ask the questions that will be the qualifying questions first, which is a little bit of it's a mind shift for me because I'm used to like putting that at the end. So that's one thing. And the other thing, my big to do is also just to get that form and ask for referrals as soon as possible, because people are wanting to give me referrals, and like I think just getting the form out will be like, okay, write it down, like give me a referral now.
The reform and the reward.
And the reward. I'm not sure about the reward. Let me give it a think.
Well, work on the reward before you just always about the form. The form is very important, but say, listen, I give you this X in order to, and all you have to do is fill out the form, right? Hey, would you like more of this for your referrals? Oh, that's great. You have a referral? I give out this. Here, this is what you do. You fill out this. So you're going to get this when you fill out this. Does that make sense?
So like lead with the thing, lead with the...
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Lead with what they're going to get first. No one moves their money unless you give them money first.
Okay.
Fantastic. Okay, very cool. So hopefully you got a lot out of today. The big thing that I got, and I always get from Nathan, is if you listen to the way Nathan talks, I think that's really important. You could learn a lot. So you're going to get the recording of this, and I'll send you this. But if you just listen early on into this call, into the way that Nathan talks, right, his tone, the confidence that you could hear in his voice, right, it's the certainty that you hear. You want to adapt that type of certainty. The reason why, by the way, the reason why he has certainty is because the people he works with do get results, right?
Yeah.
He has, but the question is, do you get the certainty before you get the results? Or do you get the results and get the certainty? What comes first?
You get the certainty first.
That's right, brother. That's right. You get the certainty first. People like, oh, when I get that, then I'll... No. It comes with the certainty first. So start there. Even before I had results, I had certainty.
Hey Gary,
Yeah.
I know you're trying to wrap this thing up, but I have to add this because I just feel compelled. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Right. And this goes out to both. It goes out to everyone, but Danielle, you brought this up. You talk about I could see that you don't know where that money's going to go. Vision. And what I strongly recommend is that you get a vision board. And if you look behind me right here, you're gonna see my new Emerald vision board right here. See it? And there you see my new apartment building in Uganda. You see my new apartment building in Charlotte. And my wife wants to, hold on, I'm trying to do that. That's a salon. Yeah, so we're just starting. As you see, there's a lot of empty space there. because it's the first one I've ever done with my wife. But I've always done vision boards, and what that means is we exactly know what we're going for and where the money that we're going to make is going to go to. And so I highly recommend that now you set the vision for what you want in your life. Now those are bigger visions, such as they may take a year or two. They may not be a 3-month vision. Some of them may happen even faster. But set your vision now, and those are the exact. Now what we did, let me just give you a new strategy, because I've been teaching vision boards for years. When I taught my GLOW method, I actually showed people how to create a vision board, okay? So I used to have this strategy of saying, hey, go get your favorite magazine or go look at magazines. I don't even tell people that. My wife taught me this new version. It's so cool. So what you do now is you take your phone and you look for the exact picture that you want, the exact thing or the closest to it. The same style. If you look at these buildings, that we're looking at that same style of building in Uganda, and what you do is you take it on your phone and you save the image, then you send it to Walgreens or Walmart or CVS and you print it out there, right? You just upload it to their printing Photoshop service, whatever they do, and you go pick them up there and you use those same exact pictures. See, years ago, I used to have people go get an image from all these magazines. You have to buy magazines. Now it's a heck of a lot easier, and you can get the exact image. So again, post it in a place you can see it, and look at it often, and ask yourself this one question. You got to write this question down. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, this one question you have to ask yourself either on a daily or weekly basis is, what am I going to do today to get one step closer to my goals? What am I going to do today to get myself one step closer to that goal? Okay? You ask yourself, and then you just go out and say, okay, this is what I need to do. And it's maybe, start my referral program. You have your to-do list and what you're going to get done, but ask yourself that question. Have a deep reason why. That's very important. Saren had a great reasons why when she said, deep charity work. You can tell there's a deep reason why in what you're doing. That's really important in anything. Is why are you doing it? Yeah, I'm not just gonna go build apartments and all that jazz for no reason. There's a reason why, right? And you have to have that clarity of vision first before you embark on your journey.
Thank you.
No problem.
That's cool.
Boom. Mind blown. I'm going to go do that right now. That's my action item.
Nice.
All right, very good, very good. Nathan, thank you so much for joining us today, dude. Always dropping the knowledge. Always. It's a pleasure to have you here. Really thank you for sharing your information here.
It's been great having dinner with everyone.
All right, kids. I'll see you in the group. Thank you for being here. Talk soon.
Okay, thank you guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.